believe Tommy Greene played for the Braves.
Oh, yeah.
And also came over, as we know, as part of a trade to the Phillies. And you'll see him on Comcast Sportsnet with pre- and post-game. And he joins us now with a look at this Phillies team who, man, a couple of weeks ago, Tommy, it looked like they were leaking oil. It looked like they were going to where everybody thought they would be. What has changed over the last 3 weeks, specifically offensively for this ball club?
Well, you hit it on the head when you said they were leaking oil. They run over a brick in the road and it punched a hole in the transfer case. But I mean, just all that aside, trying to be funny a little bit, bring air. But they went through a rough stretch, man, and every team does go through that. It's just to see it to that magnitude. You got a lot of young guys trying to figure themselves out, and it was, and they battled through it and kept working and kept working at it, and a little bit of success, a little bit of confidence started coming, and it's kind of snowballed a little bit, and they're having fun at the game right now, which is good to see. I was really happy to see them do well right now.
Yeah, and one thing is, it seems like, Tommy, they're settling into a lineup a little bit more. How much does that help a guy when he knows where he's going to hit each night in the lineup and where he's going to play each night?
Well, I mean, you hit it there too a little bit. When you come to the ballpark, you don't know if you're going to play or not. I mean, but that's half the battle. Sometimes you got to prepare yourself to every day when you come to the ballpark like you are going to play that day. No matter if you are a reliever, a starter or whatever, because you never know, you might be in the game in some facet, pinch running, doing whatever. But seeing the guys struggle, in particularly one of the veteran guys like Borges. He's turned this season around with some good hard work, and and he finally, I think we talked about it a little last night on air on CSN a little bit. I think he's got out of his own way a little bit and not let the gray matter overcome. He's seeing the ball, he's put forth the work in to have a good short stroke to it, and he's letting it happen. Stop swinging at balls out of the zone a little bit like he was early in the season. Now he's putting it in play. He's legging out infield hits. He's driving the ball in the gaps and using his speed to turn it into doubles and triples, and it's exciting baseball.
Hey, Tommy, I've been really impressed with yesterday's starter, Jared Eichhoff, 7 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 8 strikeouts on 108 pitches. I've been really impressed with him. What have you been impressed with about him?
Well, I've been impressed with the consistency. I mean, he's got that bulldog mentality. He's not going to light you up with overpowering stuff, but he comes out. He attacks you with his repertoire of pitches, so to speak. He challenges hitters with his pitches, and he comes at guys and he doesn't back down. He's right there, and he's kept the team in the game. Every game, it seems like he's been out there. He's been right there where his team has a chance to do something and win a ball game, or at least have the opportunity to win a ball game. So, I mean, I've been very, very pleased with his consistency. And, I mean, right now he's earned the name of the stopper because that's what he has been, over at least the last 6 weeks or so. During that losing streak, I mean, he was the guy that won ball games and kept his team right there to give us a chance to win.
Tommy Greene's with us here on the Sports Bash. Now, how about the flip side of that is Aaron Nola? They've announced that they're going to skip his next start. What do you think his issues are, and do you like with what the Phillies are doing with him, the way they're handling him?
Well, I mean, I'm not around the ballpark, so to speak, to see what's knowing what the issues are, but I can go on what I've heard as far as what he has said. As far as he feels healthy, I mean, is he up to par? I mean, it's just like Vasquez. We talked about him yesterday having a little bit of dead arm. You have some of that. You have to battle through that sometimes and go through that thing, but it's all about how you survive it. I talked about that a little bit. I went through that back in '93 a little bit. I don't know if Nola's going through it, but as far as Vasquez is concerned, I mean, I threw right before the All-Star break. I struggled a little bit too, and mine was a serious dead arm where I had nothing. I wasn't hurting, but I didn't have anything. I had no life on the ball, and then you end up trying to overdo and overcompensate for that. But because I threw 5, I mean, my thing was I threw 5 complete games in a row before that, for that stretch, and we won them. But after that, I kind of went through a little bit of a dead arm, and I kind of struggled for the next 2.5, 3 weeks. Next 3 or 4 starts, I struggled, and right before the break, and then we kind of figured out. And I said this about Nola last time. Maybe maybe his routine in between his starts, both of them, they might have to vary it up a little bit, change it up, maybe, listen to their body a little bit better, give it a little bit of break in between, change things up a little bit where they're getting more rest and not pounding their body all the time. That's what I had to do, and it kicked me back up in between. My body started responding. I cut out some things in between as far as the lifting is concerned and doing that as far as the maintenance work, and stuck to my little core stuff as far as my rotator cuff exercises, and my arm started kicking up. Now, could it be the same thing with these guys? I don't know, but, it's a start to learn their body. That's what they're trying to do, because both of them are young guys that hasn't, especially Nola, hasn't been through this in the big leagues, and really probably hasn't been through this type of thing in his career where he has struggled. And now he's searching for answers, and he really just needs to stay down in the zone, because he cannot afford to live up in the zone, and that's what's hurt him. He's got under some pitches and the ball up in the zone, and they've made him pay. He's just got to get back to the basics, and he can do that.
Now, I know you had 2 guys, Tommy, that worked with you. We're talking with Tommy Greene here. Leo Mazzoni early in your career, and then Johnny Padres in the 93 Phillies that were very influential on you. How much can Bob McClure really help him out of this situation?
Well, yes, because McClure's eyes, and this day and age is great because of the video capability and the slowing down of things, and the access of it is immediate, and they can. A lot of times, a guy could be his own pitching coach, so to speak, to see what he was when he was good, and see when he struggles a little bit. Is he getting under pitches? Is he a little quick to home plate? But the pitching coach is right there. He can be immediate on the side, in his work sessions when he's on the side, making sure he doesn't overdo in between. He's getting quality work in, and he's doing things right, being consistent at what he does, repeating his mechanics, staying on top of the ball and behind it, make sure he's driving it down through the zone, and not overworking himself on the side, meaning quality effort on the side, you're not getting nobody out on the side, but you can see yourself accomplish what you want on the side, as far as getting the ball down in the zone, staying out of the middle of the plate, and changing speeds, and that's the key to it. Just reinforce the positives, and that's what Nola. He got back on track a little bit after the second inning, and finished strong the last 10 batters and saw a few innings he had. He got back on track a little bit and finished quality, and that was a good sign to see, because he had struggled the previous 4 outings, not getting out of the 4th inning.
Tommy Greene's with us, CSN Philly pre- and post-game. Phillies and the Braves, and they'll continue that 3-game set tonight with Zach Eflin on the mound. I'd like to get your thoughts on Eflin, because, making that transition, he was in Double-A last year, Triple-A. He's moved pretty quickly. That could be sometimes tough for a young guy to make those jumps. How would you grade him so far, and how he's handled making these quick moves?
Well, grading, he got his awakening pretty quick. With probably one of the better hitting, as far as power hitting teams in baseball. Are they one of the best hitting teams? They can be, but their batting average as a team as a whole is not that good. But they can, when they're hot, they're hot. They can drive the ball out of the ballpark with the best of them, and he run into a buzzsaw, so to speak, with his pitches, and you saw it just as good as I did. He was a little amped up a little bit, and he wasn't making quality pitches in the zone. He was living in the middle and up in the zone and missing his location. And when you do that with those guys, they're going to make you pay, and that's what happened. And after that, he sort of got back to business, and what he's been touted for. So he pounds the zone, he gets a lot of ground balls, and that's what he got back to, and got the nervous energy out of him a little bit from the first big league start. And he's starting to pitch, and that's what he's done. If he can stay where he's at, there's no reason why he can't pitch here. And I've always told that to guys that, the difference in AAA and the big leagues is consistency. Everybody, in AAA and a lot, even AA, it's all about consistency. Guys repeating and being consistent at what they do, and not making the same mistakes over and over and over again. So. That's why guys are down in AA and AAA and not in the big leagues. So, I mean, there's no reason why he can't, and he deserved the opportunity, so to speak, because he was doing well, and, now it's time to shine a little bit. The door's open. He's got his foot in it. Can he keep it there? I hope so. Well, that's going to be a good time to see it, in the next few weeks. Hopefully he can keep going.
Yeah, and then you look at another. It's funny, we're talking about a lot of young pitchers who have had some success. Velasquez, who missed some time with that injury. Then there was a little scare the other day, but it almost seems like he built off of that and kind of became more of a pitcher this weekend than a guy who just tries to throw 95 gas by you every single time. He looked like a guy who realized he didn't have everything he usually has on that day, and really was scraping by, and he looked pretty good because of it.
Yes, I mean, and that's going to be the key. I mean, I'm waiting to see how he reacts from that outing. I'm not sure. I haven't counted the days if he gets another start before the break or not. I think he might. I'm not sure, but I want to see how he reacts from it, how he comes out of it. But I mean, it's a good learning thing. He can survive without that. He's got the stuff. It's to survive. It's all about, like you say, location, and he got that. As long as he's not hurting. The other day he did a great job. You could tell there was something iffy about him, something going on with him that was a little funny looking. And I said, well, I mean, if he's not hurting, that's one thing. But if he's just not finishing pitches and then not get through it like he normally does, and he said he got a dead arm. I mean, I believe it. He's just not. And I mean, because how many times you go out there with your best stuff? Out of 35 starts, you go out there with your best stuff probably 7 or 8 times at the most. The rest of the time you're battling a little bit. You're not going to feel all up to par. And you have to make quality pitches. And that's what he did the other day. He showed himself, hey, I can pitch here even with my B stuff, so to speak. Or A- stuff.
Tommy Greene is with us. Sorry, T. Greene. Talking Phillies baseball. They're 38-46 right now, Tommy. So past the halfway point of the season. With that in mind and the All-Star break coming up, then what's your overview of this team since we are past the halfway point and getting ready for a break? How would you assess the Phillies?
I think, at the beginning of the year, everybody was asking how many wins they got, and I look at wins. That's one thing. I'm looking for progression. From the young guys, from the guys making adjustments, and they've been through some highs and lows. They played good ball early, got some timely hitting. They pitched very well early, and as a staff, and to see how the hitters come back and have struggled, and now they've woken up and they're doing things and they're climbing and keeping us in winning ball games, and the pitching, so to speak, is sort of like in the middle of the road right now. It's been a good thing. If I had to rate them, they're probably is exactly where I'd hope they'd be at. They've done a lot of good things, but there's been a lot of learning that's been going on. Especially, like, so to speak, example, Nola. This is the stuff he's having to go through because he's never really ever failed a little to this magnitude a little bit. And this is the nature of the game. Baseball is a game of failure, and for the most part. And for him to go through this learning curve a little bit, you get to test the guts of a young man, and that's why he was drafted number 1. There's no doubt in my mind he'll be back where he needs to be. And this couple days off, these extra days, and the All-Star break, that could make a big difference in the way you feel and come back refreshed.
You just mentioned something, Tommy. You said it's a game of failure, and I think many of us who follow the game, we agree with you and understand that. What point does a player finally allow that to? What point does a player accept that? Because it seems like you tell young players, kids, you're going to fail in this game. If you hit 300, you're doing really well, and they don't want to buy into that. When do you buy into that as a player, that you say, you know what, I've seceded to the notion that I am going to fail a lot in this game, and I'm still a successful player even though I fail a lot?
Yeah, because ultimately everybody's goal, they want to hit. The little kids want to hit a home run every time they come up to bat, or get a base hit every time they come up to bat. And when they make it out, they don't know how to handle themselves. And when you're the best at what you do in Little League, and you're hitting 650, 700, and then all of a sudden you go down to 300, it's a big jump downward, but that's even the best in the business, and the Hall of Famers are hitting. That's what they do. They hit 3 out of 10 times. But it's a mental adjustment. And the way I tell kids, I mean, it's considered failure, but you're learning from what I say failure, I mean, you got to learn from your mistakes. If you lose a ball game, you might pitch a very good ball game and you might lose 1-0, and ultimately that's failure because you lost, but you pitched a quality, great ball game, but you learn from the little mistakes that you make during a game, or even if you give up 5 runs in the inning, and you learn from that and move forward, and you learn from that, and it teaches you something that you know what you got to work on, and to get more consistent so that type of thing doesn't happen, on a regular basis. You don't want that to happen. But that's the way I explain it to kids a little bit. I mean, it's okay to fail. We're not perfect. And sometimes it's hard for a kid that's had success, a younger kid that's had success, to deal with failure. But I mean, that comes in the people that are around him all the time. And I know that's what I had to deal with, coming out of high school, because I really never failed too much, pitching and, playing. And then when you get in pro ball, you got a team full of all-stars that were just as good, so to speak, as you are. And it's about the consistency of you separating yourself from them, with what you do. And that's the difference, is consistency. Do I do it on a regular basis better than the other guy does? Because a lot of guys got good stuff. It's about, can you do it on a regular basis more than they can? And, so, I mean, that's the way failure is to me, is some guys do it a little bit more than others,
Hey, Tommy, let's talk about the catchers a little bit, because Cameron Rupp obviously swinging a good bat, but Carlos Ruiz always gets that title. If he calls a better game, you would know better than most of how important the catcher can be to a starting pitcher. Would you describe the differences between those two catchers in your mind, and how Pete Macannon's been able to juggle and use both of them?
Well, I know Pete's, he's going with the hot hand, who's swinging the bat. And right now, Rupp's knocking the cover off of it, and you got to play him. And he's going to get better as it goes at handling the pitchers up there and calling ball games and learning the league. And, you can study all the video and stuff you want. It comes in your instincts when you're playing at the time. You can hopefully have a map out of a game plan and whatever, but you're not going to know what your pitcher has until you get out there during the game and what he can do. You got to make adjustments on the fly. And some guys make it better than others at times, and it's a maturation process. And Rupp's been around a little bit, but Chooch's been around a long time. He's done it and he's been around some quality pitchers for a long time. And and Chooch does call a good ball game. But Cameron's learning too, and he's getting better at what he does.
Tommy Greene, tonight it's Phillies and Braves. He'll have the pre and post on Comcast Sportsnet.
Who's your co-host?
Tonight, I'm not real sure who it is tonight. I know I've been doing it with Marshall, but right now, this the holiday weekend and stuff has kind of messed everybody up.
All right.
And we'll figure. I think it might be Steve Bucci tonight.
Oh, nice. The Booch. We like him.
Well,
wild card.
Hopefully you enjoyed your fourth, and obviously the Phillies have been playing a lot better baseball. Makes your job a little easier when you get to talk about a win rather than a loss, and the Phillies have won 6 of 7, trying for 7 out of 8 tonight with Zach Eflin on the mound. Tommy, always a pleasure. Thanks so much, pal.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. I love to talk baseball, and no matter if we win or lose, it's still a great game of baseball, and you always have fun watching it and learn from it. So, and hopefully everybody can take it that way.